We're going to switch topics a little bit and go to another specialty of Access Consciousness. And I have Miss Donnielle Carter here today.
Hello, Miss Blossom.
Hi.
Hi.
We're talking about Right Body for You, and Donnielle was a major contributor to this book. It, in large part, was about her story. And so very excited to just talk about like what you're creating. One thing that struck me was earlier today we were talking about some older classes and videos and interviews.
Yes.
And you were like, oh my gosh, but I'm already so different than that.
Yeah. You know, you talked about that part of my major contribution for Right Body for You was actually my story. And it is continuing. You know, for a long time, that's actually a mistake I made. Was I went, okay, well, this is my story and I have to stick to it. My body has to be this way. And you know what? Bodies constantly evolve and change. And my body was like, are you freaking kidding me? Mm-hmm. You know, we don't stop growing. We don't stop changing. And I had actually tried to do that. And so that's actually been part of the evolution of Right Body for You too. Because, you know, Right Body for You is about, one of the major things is introducing you to your body. Because, you know, some people know they have a body, they put on clothes and brush their teeth once in a while, but that's about it. And Right Body for You is actually about introducing you to the contribution that your body can be to your life.
So for people who haven't read your book or don't know your story, can you walk us briefly through how you found the tools of Right Body, what gift they've been to you, what changed for you with your body?
Absolutely. You know, it is so funny because my mom was a nutritionist, and I spent and a health talk radio show host. So I spent 25 years with her every Saturday listening to all these experts about the body, about how to fix it, what was wrong with it, the herbs needed, you know, you name herbalist, naturopath, homeopath, I know them all. Mm-hmm. And they all did a lot of great things with the body. But until I took my very first bars and foundation class, I never actually heard the concept of ask your body questions, talk to your body, include the contribution to it. Everything I had learned from my mother and all of her experts was about telling the body what to do and forcing it into a box, really, of this will work for everybody. And so it was so interesting because, you know, talking about bars today, I told you this earlier, the first time I had my bars run, I hated it. I mean, and not just like, I tapped my fingers, I counted minutes. Our dear friend, Dr. Dane here, was gonna be on my mom's radio show. And it was so funny because the local people traded running our bars for being on the show. And so my mother, I always said that she was getting me into these crazy things, just this, now like what woo-woo crazy crap have you gotten me into? And so one morning she goes, we're gonna go get our bars run. I'm like, what have you gotten me into now, right? And then this local gentleman, when we went to his house, he's like, well, it takes about an hour, and you know, the best that happens your whole life that changed, the worst that happens, you feel like you got a great massage. And I'm like, oh, come on. Now what have you done, right? And so he said it took about an hour, and he started on my mom a half hour before I got on the table, and because someone else was running my bars. So I was counting for every minute my mother was still on the table, I wasn't even halfway done. And I just hated it. I'm like, literally, I'm like tapping my fingers, are you kidding me? And I actually love this story because, you know, later on, I noticed my intuitive ability kicked up. You know, those little things that we write off as coincidence of, I got the papers ready right before the woman showed up, or I looked at the phone just as my sister was calling me or something like that. It's like, oh, that happens every once in a while, it's a coincidence. And that day it happened 4 times. And I went, the only thing different this morning was I got my bars run. And then miracle upon miracles, you know, Dane was on the radio show the next day, and then 2 weeks later, he was actually in the little town of St. George, Utah, facilitating my first foundation class, and you had actually done my bars class the day before.
In St. George, Utah, I sure did. And which you hated a little bit less than your first bar session, right?
Yes, I by then I was actually intrigued, because I was like, okay, I hated the bar session, but I had to change. And you know what was interesting is even in the midst of hating it, I noticed like things that when I did get a massage, like my body was processing, detoxifying kind of like. I got the dry mouth sometimes you get with massage when toxins are moving. That started happening during my first bar session. So I was like, something's going on even though I'm just laying here. So it's like, even if you have a great story, you never wanted to kill yourself with it, you know, or you hated it, it changes something, and the bars is this amazing thing.
Yeah.
So
your body, so bars was a contribution to the change of your
yes.
body, foundation was a contribution, but so take us on this journey with your body still.
yes, so Dane said in class, because I went to class because I know foundation class, because I knew my life needed to change. That was it. And for no other reason, no change in my body. You know, I actually didn't think anything was possible with my body, even with all the education I had received in nutrition and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I'm hosed, it's done.
And you were pretty...
I was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I was quite heavy. At a height of 5'2", I was like 18, 20 size. I was quite heavy at the time. And so I had just basically given up. You know, I was one of those that brushed my hair and my teeth occasionally, but I didn't dress up or, you know, really take care of it. And so, but during that foundation class, Dane said one thing. He's like, oh yeah, you know, a lot of people have, well, he said a lot of things, but one thing that really stuck out for me was ask your body. Your body has a consciousness of its own. So if you want to change it, ask your body what it would take to change it, which actually flew in the face of everything that I had been taught for 25 years. And, you know, because I counted it up one time, and I can't remember because my mom had 1 person to 3 people each Saturday for weeks
You're
and
like,
months.
I've listened to however many hundred experts.
Yeah. And nobody had ever said, your body has a consciousness of its own, ask it.
So what happened once you started chatting with your body?
You know, just with the bars and the body processes and foundation and asking questions like, body, what would you like to eat? Body, what would you like to wear? Body, what would you like to do today? Even like, body, when do you want to go to sleep? I actually dropped 10 dress sizes in just 4 months, which was so interesting because it was between foundation and the COP, which was 4 months. I walked into the COP in California and people were like, who are you? I'm like, I'm happy. And I always say that my body changing was a side effect of consciousness. Well, and actually allowing my body to contribute, which is one of the things I love about Right Body for You, is it's not about you have to lose weight. It's not about you have to heal your body. It's about talking to your body, allowing the contribution of your body, because your body gives you so much information. And one thing I really love about the Right Body for You tools is when I walked into that COP, I had somebody talk to me and they're like, oh, let me guess, you had a lot of private sessions with Dane in the past 4 months. I'm like, actually, I haven't talked to him. And they're like, oh, well, then I'm sure you worked with this guy or did this. And he's like, you know, what did you do? And I'm like, I used the tools. And it was as simple as that.
Yeah, I love that. Sorry, things going on, distractions.
which is actually really fun for me because my background is I was a promotion and production manager for a TV station.
Nice.
So being in this environment, I'm
You're
like,
like, I love it, cameras, people, things.
but I was only behind the cameras.
Yeah.
I was too shy to ever be on.
Right. So one of the things that struck me when you said, I made it a little bit about the story, so your body did change.
Yeah.
It shed all this weight, it changed in that way. So
Yeah.
the tendency to then go, oh, so this is about getting smaller and smaller.
Yep.
What in the last year specifically have you discovered that Right Body is that you never imagined it was?
In the past year, what was really interesting is it almost went more global. And from that, I really, because you know, I get to do these workshops all over the world, and it was almost like I was trying to drag people right to the tools. It's like, no, your body has a consciousness of its own, so just, you know, ask a question. But in the past year, one of the greatest things I really love about the Right Body for You tools is it was actually the ability to say hi to your body. To talk to your body, introduce your body. Literally in some of my classes, I've gone, hello, Jane, this is your body. Body, remember Jane, right? And they're like, hi. You know, because that's actually what I had to do, but I kind of jumped over that part. I sat in my office, listening to the audios of the foundation class, and I stopped and I went, hi, body. And I actually stopped and was present with it. And so really in the past year, it's been like, it's an introduction to your body to help you be present with your body, not just to receive what's going on for it and you, but the world around you.
So stopping, being present, hello, checking in. What are a couple other things that people could play with today who are at home and who would maybe like more peace and ease? I think especially at the new year, it's the number one thing. People are like, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna be nicer to me, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna stretch, all these ways I'm gonna change my body.
Have they asked their body though? You know, we've done a lot of social media things with that. It's like, ask your body, ask your body, ask your body. And I get that a lot of people are like, well, how does my body communicate with me? And your body can communicate with you in so many different ways. It can, muscle testing works for a lot of people. It can give you sensations, it can give you words, it can give you memories. You know, that's one of the things, it's like if you're having a memory sometimes coming up, that could be something that your body's communicating with you. So, during this time of year when people are looking at resolutions and goals and things like that, I strongly encourage people to go, okay, first ask your body what it desires to change. Mm-hmm. If hopefully you've been to go to a bars class, the POD POC, all projections and expectations and judgments that it has to be this way, it has to be now. It could be you need to do it in 2 weeks. It doesn't mean you failed because you didn't start on January 1st. It just meant maybe there's some information you need coming in. Mm-hmm. So first ask your body if it wants to change, and then what it wants to change, and then how to do it. Mm-hmm. And probably one of the best tools I can give people is to ask frequently, because Right Body for You is not even about getting rid of modalities of cleanses or going to the doctor or anything like that. It's really about adding question to all of that. Mm-hmm. And so it's like if somebody's doing a 4-week protocol and the first week and a half is absolutely fun and joyous and their body's humming and singing, cool. Mm-hmm. If in the middle of the second week it starts sucking,
ask another question.
Yeah, your body might be done with it, and it doesn't mean you failed or you're weak-willed. All it means is your body got what it needed, or it requires something else, is asking for something else. So the conversation with your body is not ask one question and then that's it forever. Yeah. It's really about that open communication and communion that's constantly going on. So yeah, and don't judge yourself along the way.
Big one.
Yeah. That's the other thing with Right Body for You is it's about introduction and getting you out of judgment of you and out of judgment of your body.
And to me, all of Access is how do we get out of judgment? And what I love is some of these specialties go, okay, cool. How do you get out of judgment of your body? How do you get out of judgment of your money? It's like, let's break this down. And then eventually you might end up with a world without judgment. Right?
Well, yeah, because I didn't start using the tools to change my body. Mm-hmm. I used the tools because I was being caretaker for my grandparents. And I was like, do I go back to TV or do I do something else? And I'm like, okay, my life has to change, and then my body changed. Mm. That's the slogan of Right Body for You is it's about the creation of your life with the contribution of your body. Mm.
I love that. Yeah. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, because it's fairly new in the past year. And because it's really your body gives you information about people, the world, plants, if danger's near. Yeah. And so that's the other thing. Right Body for You and the tools are not just about maintaining your body, it's about actually receiving the whole world. It's really neat. I love it.
Right Body for You has a specialty site, so accessconsciousnessnews.com. You'll find the Right Body for You section. Again, articles, blogs, tools, and if you want more about Right Body for You, you can take a class with Donnielle. She's traveling the world.
Yep.
You also can get a 6-part telecall series for $100 today. Craziest deal ever.
And can I just say something about that series?
Yeah.
It's called Your Body's Talking, Are You Listening? And it was one of those fun little silly moments. I'm like, I'll do a 6-part teleseries on talking to your body. I'm sure that'll be easy. I'll just break it down step by step. Oh my gosh. It was like walking through some of the thickest sludge I had ever done, but it was absolutely amazing, absolutely potent, which is why I thought they would be a great one to contribute to this, because it's just, you know, we spend the first hour just talking about light and heavy and about how to use that with your body and the communication with your body. So it's a freaking fantastic series.
Cool. Yeah, globalaccessbarsday.com. If you check out the fundraiser tab, again, if you donate $100 to the two causes that we're raising money for today, you can pick any of those gifts and you can have as many as you desire of them. So if you want Donnielle's package as one of them, visit that page, and we would love to create some money for PROA and for the rhinos and some consciousness for your body.
Yeah.
So beautiful. If you could leave people with one thing, what would it be?
To really start asking questions about, one thing I hear most of the time in my classes is people are afraid of talking to their body because they think their body is mad at them. And, you know, your body has no point of view. Your body is grateful to play with you and do anything. So if you would use the tools and podpoc our projections, is like, well, of course, I think I've judged that I've treated it like crap, so of course it's mad at me. If you would drop your barriers and be vulnerable and just actually hear what your body has to say, I haven't found a body yet that's been mad at its infinite being. So it's like, please podpoc that fear and just really ask the question and begin the conversation.
Cool.
So
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
being
Blossom.
here. We are going to take, again, you can also visit rightbodyforyou.com.
yeah, it's still under construction, but yeah.
Yes, and accessconsciousnessnews.com /rightbodyforyou, or just check out the page.